All right, so let's find, for example 3, let's find the exact values of y. So we got y is equal to the inverse tangent of 0. So just like before, let's do the inverse. So tangent of y will equal 0.
So it's just going to be...
Well, we should be thinking about our interval, what quadrants we're looking for. Remember, this is negative pi over 2
If it's 0, isn't it like in between?
to pi over 2, which means quadrants 1 and 4, right? It's kind of what we're looking at. So, what is tangent in terms of x and y?
It's y over x.
It is y over x. So, what is the only way, come down here in another think bubble, what is the only way that y over x can equal 0?
0, 0.
If what is 0? X or y? The y. The y has to be 0. So x could be any number. We're just going to put it over 1, okay? So I need to know, where is y equal to 0? Well, that one's not using my fingers. So it's got to be one of these ordered pairs here then. So remember, this is what, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, and 1, 0. So which of those is y equal to 0? This one right here, which is what angle?
2.
Well, it's 2 pi, but that's not between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So what other angle is in that location? 0.
Wait.
Okay, so I just want to point out, even though on that one I did write the ordered pairs for the pi over 2, 0, and negative pi over 2, remember for tangent we said that it actually cannot equal pi over 2 or negative pi over 2, so really those two were not even options. Okay? Alright, so going on for B. B says y equals arc tangent of negative square root of 3. What does that arc mean? Yeah, it's the same thing as the inverse. So let's go ahead and take the inverse. So tangent of y is equal to the negative square root of 3. Yeah, so tangent, you gotta think about your quadrant. Where's tangent? I don't know why I'm drawing a think bubble. I wanted to do this. So where is tangent negative? In 1 or 4?
4.
So we're in quadrant 4.
What is that SATC? I think I missed it.
You remember that? That means that's where our trig functions are positive. All of them are positive in quadrant 1. Sine and its reciprocal in quadrant 2. Tangent in quadrant 3. And cosine and its reciprocal in quadrant 4. I forgot. Tangent and its reciprocal in quadrant 3. Alright. So that tells us where our trig functions are positive. So what I did when I wrote that was so we could just look at the 1 and 4. In quadrant 1, they're all positive, which means tangent can't be negative there. And in quadrant 4, only cosine and its reciprocal, which means that's where tangent is negative. So we know our answer is going to be a quadrant 4 answer, which we know that means it's going to be a negative angle, okay? Because it's got to be between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. All right, so glad you like that. All right, so we know the tangent, you told me earlier, was y over x. So I need that y over x to equal, I'm not even going to worry about the negative. I'm going to put it, but we're not going to worry about it, okay? Because we already said that that's quadrant 4. It's dealt with. So the negative square root of 3, I'm going to make that a fraction, so I'm going to put it over 1. Now, I've got the square root of 3. That sounds like a finger thing, right? So let's go back to our fingers. All right, so not very good drawing of it, but there's my fingers. All right, now be careful because notice when we did all of our angles for quadrant 1 and everything, they were all over 2, right? But this doesn't have an over 2. Why is that okay for tangent?
Because it's y over x.
Well, because it's y over x, and if they're all over 2, when we do keep it, change it, flip it, when we multiply by the reciprocal, the 2's will cancel. All right? So just know, just know that if it's tangent, then that is the same thing as saying the negative square root of 3 over 2 over 1/2 then, okay? Because keep it, change it, flip it, or multiplying by the reciprocal would make those 2's cancel. So it's still going to be using our fingers, even though they don't have the square root of 2 written. We know that's because it canceled.
I'm gonna write that down.
So I need y to be a negative square root. I need y to be 3 fingers and x to have 1 finger. So x is what? The top or the bottom fingers? X is top because x comes first, okay? So I need 1 finger on top, so I think it's that one. Did they give me the 3 fingers on bottom? Yeah, so what angle is that? And because we're in quadrant 4, we know our answer is going to be negative pi over 3.